I'm Donna Blanchard, and this is your Think Tech News for Monday, October 19th, 2015. At least 3 people were killed and thousands left homeless as Typhoon Kopu visited the Philippines. Soldiers, police officers, and volunteers have been rescuing villagers trapped on rooftops of flooded homes, and damage is already estimated in the millions of dollars. After making landfall on Sunday, the typhoon was downgraded to a tropical storm that caused flash floods and landslides. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council said more than 280,000 people have been affected with power failures across at least 5 provinces. There is much pageantry planned to welcome China's President Xi Jinping to England this week, but Prince Charles has already quietly declined invitation to attend the official banquet held in Mr. Xi's honor at Buckingham Palace. The prince has not discussed this decision, but it is widely known that he is close to the Dalai Lama and has snubbed past events involving China. Prince Charles will meet with the Chinese president privately on behalf of the Queen tomorrow morning. Prime Minister David Cameron and his Chancellor of the Exchequer, George Osborne, have been quite welcoming of Mr. Xi and have taken an aggressively trade-oriented position with China. This contrast is echoed throughout Britain as the struggle continues to balance vital commercial interests with concerns about China's neglect of human rights and disdain for democracy. A Bedouin Arab citizen of Israel carried out a deadly attack at a bus station in southern Israel. Bedouins have rarely been involved in armed attacks there. This development multiplies the already unpredictable and escalating wave of violence. After that Bedouin Arab citizen took the life of one security guard and was then killed, a very unlucky Eritrean asylum seeker was reportedly mistaken for his second assailant. He was shot by a security guard and beaten by a mob that formed at the scene. The man, identified as Fatem Zarham, later died. Among rising tension over random attacks throughout the country, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned that no one should take the law into their own hands. The Pentagon announced on Sunday that the U.S. carried out a drone strike that killed Zanafi al-Nasser, a Qaeda operative who is said to have been plotting attacks against the United States and Europe. He was the highest-ranking leader of the network of about 24 veteran Qaeda operatives called the Khorasan Group. He was the 5th senior member of Al-Qaeda to be killed in the past 4 months. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has not been a fan of Turkey's effort to join the European Union, but is now reconsidering that. As Hungary has recently reopened their border with Croatia to deal with the more than 10,000 migrants who have formed a slowly moving refugee camp. Ms. Merkel has long opposed Turkey's admission to the EU bloc, but is now saying that she not only changes her tune, but would support speeding up the process. At a news conference, Ms. Merkel said, "No country can shoulder the refugee burden alone. The job has to be shared." The deal with Turkey would include approximately $3.4 billion to help Turkey deal with nearly 2.2 million Syrian refugees who have made their way into Turkey. Donna Blanchard, Think Tech News. Ahui ho, everyone.